We're taking a live look now at Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. This is day 2 of the Republican National Convention getting ready to get started this morning.
All eyes on Wisconsin as the RNC officially announces Donald Trump as their presidential candidate and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance as his vice presidential running mate. Our Jason Zimmerman has your voice, your vote coverage with a preview.
Day 2 of the Republican National Convention just getting underway after delegates last night conduct a roll call to officially nominate Donald Trump and J.D. Vance to be on the party's ticket this November. The announcement of the Ohio senator already generating a lot of excitement at the convention among delegates.
Will come to order.
The Wisconsin group getting front row seats with the state playing host. Senator Vance will face his first big test speaking before a national audience Wednesday night. And while he's popular as a conservative firebrand, questions remain as to whether he can attract independent, undecided voters. Also, Monday, protesters rallied against a second Trump presidency outside the convention's security perimeter. However, the crowd not as big as organizers were hoping for. Senator Ron Johnson calling for the country to unite and resist political violence in a meeting with Wisconsin delegates.
Not only do we have to be unified as a party, as a nation right now, as much as Iran, because we're mortgaging our kids' futures, as great a threat as that is, and we're not fixing it, our debt and deficit, the greatest threat to a nation right now is the fact that we are so horribly divided.
We're also hearing that Trump is rewriting his acceptance speech based on the shooting scheduled to take place on Thursday. Reporting at the RNC in Milwaukee, Jason Zimmerman, Action 2 News.